Yeah, I think draw's a fair result because we were really good first half. Really pleased with everything we've been working on. Seems to have come together at the first half. Second half, they put us under a lot of pressure. They're very much used to winning. They obviously sit top of the table, and I suppose that's the difference. When you look at it, the last 2 weeks we've been 2-0 down at half time, and when confidence is fragile, it's very difficult to go and influence a game. I think at 2-0, whoever scores the third goal in the game, takes the initiative, and when they got that, they had the momentum in the game. We have an issue at the minute because if you look over the last few weeks, Deeping came here, they scored 1, then quickly scored 2, and then got another. Leicester Nirvana scored 1, got another one quickly. Cogano the same last week in the first half, and we can't keep conceding goals in batches. But that is a couple of things. One, confidence, and the confidence is fragile because we're not used to winning. And also chopping and changing the back four, and it's something we can't keep doing. We can't keep having different personalities, but we also can't keep conceding one goal and another one. Obviously momentum at 2-0, once it goes to 2-1, goes with them. I'm pleased we saw it out, and a point against these, who are going to be a good side, is not a terrible point, but it's a disappointment from 2-0. At 2-0 at home, we shouldn't be losing, not taking away 3 points. So for as good as we were first half, it's really disappointing second half. But I kind of look over the last 3 games, there are signs that we're improving. I kind of feel like after today, Jono's back, Cuzzy's back. We then have a full squad to pick from, and we got the opportunity to speak to a couple of players as well with approaches this week. We need a settled side, and that needs to, there's elements and partnerships that are starting to develop, but they only develop over 4 and 5 games, not 1 and 2. And I haven't been able to field the same side twice yet. It's something we do need to do, and they'll get used to playing together that way. So it's disappointing that we haven't got 3 points today. Performance was better, and if performances keep improving, then results will definitely improve. We now need to go on an unbeaten run. We've stopped, hopefully, the defeats, but the fact is we need to go on a run. I think if you go on a run of 6-7 games unbeaten, you can find yourself moving up the table. Where we are now, we can only take 1 game at a time. So again, I'll go away with some pleasing elements. Can't fault the work rate, can't fault the effort that they're putting in, but the reality is the quality second half, how we tried to keep the ball, wasn't as good as it was first half. If we played like we did first half, we'd have won the game. And I also think if we get the third goal in the game, that also kills it. But there are some buts at the minute, and we come away with 1 point rather than 3 we probably would have hoped for. Yeah, Ellis comes in initially for today and Tuesday. Obviously the situation with Stuart Wall's injury, plus John Fairweather, Paul Cousins not being available, and Luke Wyatt with his injury, we felt we needed obviously some cover at centre back. Ellis did really well for us today. Ellis has obviously been involved at Wisbech Town and Grantham. I'll be honest, the lad wants to play as high as he possibly can. And UCL in terms of location probably isn't ideal for him because the trek from Grimsby to the sides, Northampton, Bedford way, is a long one. But he's agreed to come in for the first 2 games. We'll sit down and talk to him after that and see where he wants to go. I was impressed with him today. He dealt with a couple of flying arms, and he defended well. He settled into the group. He's 19 but talks really well. So I was really pleased with him. He'll be involved Tuesday, and then we'll see where it goes from there. Yeah, and it's a difficult one to judge because they had a brilliant result in the week, beating Holwich 5-0, and then have lost to Northampton Spencer today. So they're a little bit up and down, like we're up and down. And I think it's one of those games where if you get the initiative and you get on top, you can go and dominate the game. They have got some very good players, and they'll go into it similar to us, but maybe confidence a little bit fragile. Maybe hoping rather than expecting to get wins. We've sort of said let's learn the lessons from today, and if we can get the first goal, get ahead, then we'll start to put pressure on the opposition. I suppose the issue at the minute when you're playing the Leicester Nirvanas and the Coganos and the Kempstons of the world, when they get their spells, they take their chances, and against maybe the sides that are mid-table and below, when they have their little spell in the game, they don't get their goal. So we need to I kind of feel, having Leicester, Nirvana, Cogonhoe, Kempston, we've shown enough in them games that there's improvements. Now we're playing sides that aren't at the top. We need to cash in on that, and that starts on Tuesday. That's no disrespect to Boston. It's always a difficult place to go, and they show what they can do against Holbeach. But if I'm honest, we've got to stop concentrating on the opposition. I don't really care what the opposition do or what they've got in their side. We need to look at ourselves. We've got plenty here to get results, and at the end of the day, we are the club in the league that, one of the biggest clubs in the league. So we don't need to concentrate on the opposition. We need to learn from what we've done today and what we've done over the last few weeks, and we need to make sure this draw goes from being a bit of a disappointment from 2-0 to being the start of an unbeaten run.